Can you hear the sound of the chimes? Looks like we're going to have a sunny day today. The wind is blowing, so there's no clouds. I'm currently contemplating the difference between hypervigilance and due diligence. Mm. So, hypervigilance is a trauma response, a reaction, emotional reaction to a perceived threat that, hi, puppies, that you feel you need to fix fast or else. Dun, dun, dun. And due diligence is more of a here's the situation. Let me calm my nervous system and really be deliberate with my actions and what I'm going to do here. And sometimes doing nothing the problem will solve itself. But when we get in this trauma response and hey, just leave her alone. Just leave her alone. Hypervigilance, and we just feel like we've got to fix it all. We fix it all. And sometimes we make it worse. We actually dig into the perceived problem and we make a mountain out of a molehill. As a society that has 24/7 electricity, we have access with just the tap of a button. We can find any information anywhere in the world from any time in recorded history. It's hard to be patient. It can be really hard to be patient and just let the dust settle, let things just be. And I'm speaking 100% from personal experience. This is all my perceived wisdom, experience, knowledge. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. And with my word this year being relax, oh, I'm really we're only 7 days in. I've been doing it for about 3 weeks, 3 weeks really, because I started my year forecast card spread about on winter solstice. I actually started my card spread journey on winter solstice and started pulling cards for 2025 on winter solstice. So the word relax has been in my mind for a couple of weeks now. And I've really noticed where I am extremely hypervigilant. uh, and and I think I'm doing my due diligence. That's where the lie comes in. That's where the illusion is I think that I'm actually doing what I need to do to be a good steward of whatever I'm doing, whether it's parenting, my relationship with Jerry, my business, my art, my body, the environment, my relationship with all of those. And I invite you to take some super extra long exhales. Just focus on the exhale. And really try to blow all the air out. When you think you're done, keep going. And when you think you're done again, keep going again. Like 3 or 4 times. I really notice how much you are holding your breath. Oh, here comes the dog. What are you doing? In my yoga training, I remember being taught that the bottom third of our lungs both of our lungs. We typically don't breathe in an average day. We're not breathing with the bottom third of our lungs, just the top third. And it's this like, that's called hyper something too, hyperventilating, right? We're hyperventilating and we're not really utilizing our full lung capacity. And so a lot of times we think, okay, I gotta take a breath. And it's like, and we breathe in first. But we already have so much capacity, like our lungs are already so full because we're so hyper vigilant, so hyper oxidized, so hyper, the word I just used, ventilated, that there's really not enough room to even inhale. We actually need to exhale first. And then allow the inhale to be natural and then sigh it out. Ah. That ah sound is a really powerful vibration that vibrates the nerves and our throat that sends a signal to the brain we're okay. We can relax. We can actually get out of fight and flight, out of the sympathetic nervous system, and we can get into rest and digest, the parasympathetic nervous system, or rest and digest. Ah. Hmm. So the invitation, the intuitive prayer of intention for today is to just slow down, focus on the exhale. And there's four parts of every breath, right? There's the inhale, which is one part. And then there's the pause at the top where our body switches from receiving to getting ready to release. And then there's the exhale. And then at the bottom, there's the pause again, where our body gets ready and switches from receiving or releasing to receiving. So it's not just inhale, exhale, there's the pause at the top and the pause at the bottom. And those pauses are very beautiful places to witness and notice a shift that's happening. And in our modern life, in our modern everyday life, we go from task to task to task to task to task. And a lot of times, most of the time, we're multitasking. We're listening to music or a book or a podcast, or we're having a conversation, or the TV's on while we're doing something else. And not even just something else, probably multiple else things, multiple else's, doing the dishes, like we're reading a recipe and we're cooking and we're cleaning the kitchen while we're listening. There's a lot going on all the time. And our body can't receive all of that information all the time. In fact, multitasking is a lie. Sorry, not sorry. I have some really beautiful resources if you would like them for the actual science behind multitasking and how it's actually harming our brain and our attentional system and intentional system because it's fracturing it. We don't actually have a whole bunch of things that we're focused on, like, a tray, and we can look at all of the things at one time. Our focus just switches really fast from this to this to this to this to this to this to this 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 so fast. And it's just fracturing our ability to stay focused, to maintain a state of calm awareness. It takes at least 15 minutes of doing one thing, not multitasking, one thing to get into a flow state for your brain to like stop going, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? It's like, oh, we're doing this. And we can get into this gentle, easy flow state. We can now rest our parasympathetic nervous system because this is what we're doing. But when we're task switching and we're fracturing our attention, we're constantly in sympathetic nervous system. This thing, this thing, this thing. And notice how there's that there's a big inhale and there's not a lot of exhale. So when you stay with something for 15 minutes, and this is why I think meditation, and this is pre like the Zen cone, meaning it's been around for centuries, way before science has even known that it takes 15 minutes for our brain to get in a relaxed flow state. The Zen Buddhist monks knew that at least 20 minutes of sitting in meditation is where we actually started healing. It takes at least 15 minutes for our body to settle, and then 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes of like, yep, we're okay. It will reset the parasympathetic nervous system. So I think it's just really fascinating. And here I find myself wanting to just like talk about all the things. Being hyper vigilant instead of doing my due diligence. So I'm still practicing. I'm practicing with you. And the invitation today is to slow down and try to focus on one task at a time. And before you switch tasks, before you go from washing the dishes to chopping the vegetables for breakfast or lunch or dinner or whatever, you take a breath, conscious breath, and maybe even say to yourself, okay, thank you. I am done with the dishes. Next is vegetables. And be present with whatever it is that you're doing next. And just, even if it's just the pause and the breath, like, okay, I'm going from doing my hair to getting dressed. Okay, I'm ready. I'm going from getting dressed to driving the car. Okay, I'm ready. you know? Um, yeah. And be kind with yourself as you do it. Like, this is one of the biggest things from Vipassana is that just like when you find that your attention has fractured and that your intention is now split across different places and ideas, modalities. Just like, okay, it's okay. I'm frazzled. I'm being hyper vigilant. And it's okay. It's been a trauma response. And I just, this is my default mode. But I get to retrain that. I am in charge. I'm going to choose to do due diligence and focus on one thing with my breath in this moment. And it's okay. I'm okay. We're okay. Mm, listening to the chimes. Have a blessed, beautiful, due diligent day. Namaste.